A very good morning to you, our viewers. Welcome to the Thursday edition of the Camnet Breakfast. My name is Sharon Kalimbula. On the other side, as usual, I have Patrick Soko. We have quite a number of interesting topics to talk about, and the topic of the day will be scrolling on your screens. You too can call in and also send those text messages so that we can have an interactive session. Remember, this is your show. Patrick?
Exactly, this is your show. Like Sharon has indicated, we can get interacting and issues that are trending, especially in terms of development. And to help us do that, we're going to have one of our guests who's going to help us in terms of how they are tracking development commitments under the United Party for National Development Administration, so that we can get the conversation going. Accountability issues are consistent and they cannot be suspended for anything. Hence, we continue to follow through development commitments.
Of course, Patrick will also delve into the health corner as well as look at the money markets and how they are faring against the major convertibles. Let's look at the morning boost for now, though, from Isaac Matsa. I just pronounced it correctly. Let's look at this and keep fit. Good morning.
Good morning. Welcome to our morning boost in Camnet, wherever you're watching us from. If your hubby is in bed, tell them that they need to wake up. We are here to do a workout. And guess what? I have a special friend of mine. She's here to work out with me. Good morning, Chola.
Good morning, Isaac.
Great. Welcome. You ready?
Yep.
We're going to do a warm-up and then a workout. Let's go jam. Let us know where you're watching us from. If you're on Facebook, you're welcome. So we're going to do this for a minute. How was your night?
Boring.
Is it? You're going to boost your morning this morning, right?
Oh, yes.
Awesome stuff. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, marching. Let's go, Team Camnet. Let's go, let's go. It's a warm-up for a minute. We'll just do that. Very simple, very basic. Let's go. Keep marching. And 4, 3, 2, step touch. There you go. Let's go. And we're beginning our workout soon. 4, 3, 2, knee highs. Stay at it. Let's go. Keep on the knees. What else can we give them? Punches or 2 knees? What do you suggest?
Let's go our legs.
Our legs?
Yep.
Okay. So what do you think? We go back to step touch?
Yes, please.
4, 3, 2, step touch. Go. Hands up. Let's go. I think we can give them hamstrings. What do you think?
Let's bring.
Okay. 4, 3, 2, hamstring, go. 1 each. Let's go, Team Camnet. 1 each. Oh, we need to pull some stuff. Let's go. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Stay there. 4, 3, 2, marching. That is your cool down now. If you want, you can quickly sip some warm water. And there we go. I think we need to throw some punches.
Let's do this, Camnet.
You know the one we're going to do?
Okay.
We're going to do a side punch. We'll be trotting with a punch. You remember that one?
Yes.
4, 3. We'll go with the right one, actually. 4, 3, 2. Let's go. This is doable. What do you think?
I'm dying.
Ooh, I don't think so. Let's go. Push. Push. Let's punch into our day. Ooh. 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 Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. The other side. She's sipping some water. Now that's the reality of the workout. Sometimes you are doing the workout and you just have to go and sip some water. So there you go. Let's go. 4, 3, 2, and marching. So now I deliberately brought in my friend so that you see how it goes. Sometimes in the middle of a workout, you feel like you need to stop, drink some water. And that's what she did. Shola, let's go. Water break is over. Woo. Let's go. Much. And 1, 2, 1, 2. Let's go. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. On the sides. 1, 2. Keep going. Let's go. 1, 2. And 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. Let's go. March. Awesome workout, Team Camnet. Say something on our Facebook page. Let us know where you're watching from. Enjoy the rest of your day. And I'll see you next week. Thank you so much. This has been Isaac Matsa, your presenter. Remember, always to tune into Camnet TV.
There you have it, Isaac Machisa there, doing what he does best. You are looking at me because I said Isaac Machisa.
He'll sue you. I'm just afraid because I don't think I'll be able to stand next to you saying, yes, he didn't say this, what. No, I won't be there, really. Just say it correctly, the way he does it. Matsa.
Matsa. All right, Isaac Matsa, they're helping us do a 5 minutes workout. It is important every day that you do that. You don't have to wait for us to do that. You can just set yourself some time that you can do that workout, but just be sure that you keep health. And talking about health, we are getting straight into another segment we call Health Corner, where the doctors are going to help us discuss symptoms of mental health, and we have Dr. Walia to help us with that.
Let's look at it.
Good morning. My name is Francisca Walia. I'm a medical doctor by profession and I've specialized in psychiatry, the mental health field of medicine. And today I'm representing the Medical Women Association of Zambia, MWAZ, as we create awareness around mental health. We're going to continue and speak about mental health. We had done an introduction and spoken about what mental health is, and I believe we have gotten a better appreciation of what mental health is. So we'll go a step further and say, how does mental health actually present itself? How does mental health present itself? And earlier we alluded to the aspect that, is it the severe presentation that a lot of people are accustomed with, where they hear of someone trying to end their life, or they see someone undressing in public, being violent, very aggressive. Is that the only presentation of mental health or psychiatric presentation? Taking into consideration that we're not just speaking of illness or disease, but we're talking about a spectrum of well-being, about one being in optimal mental health. And when we speak about optimal mental health, we're talking about an individual being at a place where they're their best in their cognition, in the way they think, in the way they make decisions, apply themselves, they're very productive. And even when it comes to managing their mood, they're able to manage their mood well, they're able to compose themselves in different circumstances and situations, and they're able to socialize well with others. So already, just from the various aspects that I'm bringing out, one can also deduce the various symptoms that one can look out for when we're talking about mental health. So some of them may seem very simple, but they're very significant to one's mental well-being. How is one sleeping? It can be on either extreme. Are you sleeping a lot? You just constantly find yourself, you can't wake up, or you don't want to wake up, you just want to be lying down. Or are you not sleeping at all? You're having difficulty sleeping, you can't, or when you sleep, you only sleep for a few hours, you're awake again, or when you wake up, you're so tired, you don't feel refreshed after sleeping. Those can present in various ways, as well as one's eating habits. Are you finding yourself eating a lot? For others, actually, that's a negative coping mechanism, whereby now one is just eating a lot, they feel they can eat their problems away, or they want to just shut down and one just keeps eating. Or on the other extreme, one is not eating at all, they can't eat. Even if they've been active, even if it reaches that point where they know that, okay, I should have eaten, my body needs something, but they have no appetite. They can't apply themselves to eat. One's mood, very common. Presentation. How are you feeling most of the time? Would you say you're in control of how you feel or your mood and in different circumstances? Or are you labile? Are you feeling mostly sad most of the times? Or do you feel you're not able to control your mood in various circumstances? All these can be telltale signs of one's mental health not being in the best place. Then further, how is your thinking in general? What type of thoughts do you constantly have? Are they positive? Are they productive? Are they thoughts that push you to apply yourself in a positive way? Or are they usually negative? Are they mostly paranoid type of thoughts? Or thoughts of harming oneself or harming others? Or looking negative at world, life, work, school, various areas of our lives? How is our thought pattern? And how is our thinking in general? How is your memory? How are you applying yourself? How are you making decisions? Then as well, how we are socially. As human beings, we're social beings. So our social aspect is also very important to our general well-being. So here we see, is someone constantly isolating themselves, having difficulty to interact with others? Already one can tell that, okay, something is wrong. Even the things that maybe one used to enjoy socially or as hobbies, you find that now they're such a difficult thing to do or want to apply themselves. And for others, when it comes to coping approaches, are you one of those, maybe you never used to take any alcohol, then all of a sudden you just find yourself you're taking alcohol, or using illicit drugs, heroin, cocaine, codeine to cope with life or various stresses? Or for those who take alcohol already, you find yourself consuming more than you usually used to, and it's starting to affect various areas of your life. Those are telltale signs. And in other incidents, one can actually even present with physical symptoms. Physical presentations which are not adding up. You go to the hospital, investigations are done, but nothing can be picked up. Because certain mental health presentations can actually present with physical symptoms. Then of course, another extreme is the symptoms that we call psychotic symptoms, which a lot of times people are quick to associate with mental health and psychiatry, which of course is understandable. Though when we talk about mental health presentations, it's more than that. And these are the symptoms whereby now someone is hearing voices when there's no one around them or no one talking to them. Or one is seeing things that other people are not seeing. Or one is having very unusual thoughts. Maybe someone believes that someone wants to kill them, but there's no evidence for that. Or people are after them, trying to harm them. So already we're seeing that there are various presentations of mental health symptoms. And it's important for us to appreciate some of these symptoms, because it's only when we are aware that we can now actually recognize some of these symptoms when we're experiencing them. And then we can intervene and actually do something about them. And we want to reach a place whereby we just don't think of these symptoms when they are severe, but we're able to monitor our mental well-being on a daily basis, just like we're able to for our physical health. Because when we talk about our physical health, one is able to say, okay, I think I'm not fine, I've got a headache, okay, maybe let me try and take some water to help the headache, maybe let me take a minimal analgesic like paracetamol to help with the headache. If it persists, we probably even seek medical attention for that. But are we able to recognize as well when we're not our best mentally, so that we intervene? If you're able to recognize that, okay, you know what, I don't know, I'm having difficulty sleeping, I think my mood, I'm not regulating, you are actually able to take time and reflect like, okay, why am I in this state? You take time to assess, analyze your life, what's going on, what could really be affecting me, and probably intervene at that point. And in that way, one will prevent severe presentation. So it's important for us to understand some of these presentations of mental health so that we can better take care of ourselves. And for those of us who are listening and following, let's look out for these symptoms in the people around us, in our loved ones, in our with our colleagues, with our churchmates, and with ourselves especially. Let's look out for these symptoms so that we can take the necessary steps if need be. Thank you for listening.
There you have it. Mental health is still a very topical issue, especially now, Patrick. I think we had discussed it some time back to say issues to do with mental health are very, very important, and very important discussions that we need to generate almost all the time. People should learn to open up, at least find one person that you can open up to when you are not really okay. I think each one of us has a certain level of degree that they can experience mental health. But the most important thing is to be able to control yourself and speak to somebody that can help you come to normalcy. Otherwise, if you don't control it, you end up becoming worse, and you become a mentor, as people would call you. So yeah, you can still comment on that segment as well on our platform, and then the topic of discussion is actually scrolling on your TV screens. You can send us those text messages, call us, and let's have that conversation. A little later, we'll be joined by our guest in studio and discussing various pertinent issues. Remember, we've been having the Follow Your Vote campaign brought to us by the Operation Young Vote, and we did 5 episodes, and today we're doing the last episode with the executive director, who is going to just run us through the whole thing and how they feel it's going to impact people tracking developmental projects that government is intending to endeavor on after the elections, Patrick, because according to them, according to various stakeholders that I've spoken to, this is a period that there's a huge vacuum when people are excited about the change of administration. They just, you know, in this euphoria, whatever happens, whatever the UPN does, they're excited, they are praising us, and anything alike that. So they are coming in to bridge that gap, to remind people to say, elections are done, but you need to track these developmental aspirations and ensure that there is no corruption, pakatiapa and stuff. So yeah, let's look at the money markets for now.
How is it trending? Well, the kwacha against the US dollar is buying at 17 kwacha 24 ngwe, and selling at 58 kwacha, 17 kwacha 58 ngwe. Against the British pound, the kwacha is buying at 22 kwacha 43 ngwe and selling at 22 kwacha 87 ngwe. Against the euro, the kwacha is buying at 18 kwacha 89 ngwe and selling at 19 kwacha 26 ngwe rather. And we also have the rand that is buying at 1 kwacha 19 ngwe and selling at 1 kwacha 21 ngwe. Those are your money markets.
Yes, as of today, the 14th of April 2022, that's how our kwacha is faring against those four major convertibles that we actually relates to. However, the US dollar is
No
major changes as usual. We'll wait and see if at all there will be any other changes that we'll be able to see probably tomorrow. I mean, it's a daily thing. Tomorrow, though, it's a holiday. It's Easter Friday, and I'm not sure if at all banks will be open, but we will give you the currencies as of close of business Thursday. Today, we'll give you up until Monday, because those are the rates that the kwacha will be faring on. You know, when business is closed, that's what happens, like that.
Interesting. There you have it. There an explanation from Madam Sharon Kalimbola, as usual, elaborate and eloquent. How does that make you feel?
Why are you looking
How does that make you feel?
You can be dramatic.
But so just now we're going to zoom in one of the stories
Oh my
in the news.
goodness.
This is the story where Nakachinda, the PF chairperson for information and media, is commenting on the issue of the DPP.
The DPP is under fire.
It's been trending for a week now.
2 weeks,
Two weeks
yes.
now, because some of the technicalities in the legal system there. We have the issue that also brought a lot of controversy surrounding that issue is the matter pertaining former KCM liquidator, provisional liquidator, rather Milingolungu, where he was the matter was discontinued. The DEC arrested him.
We arrested him.
That's where
and they are hoping to continue the matter because, according to them, they sourced or gathered new evidence against Milingolungu.
Yes, and just to understand that there are a lot of dimensions to this aspect. Mr. Nakachinda says the DP is was within her means in terms of questioning the Drug Enforcement Commission director. Again, the TIZ believes that the Director of Public Prosecution was acting outside her mandate, and they feel that there is more to do with the harmonization in terms of the relationship between the two institutions to ensure that they deliver justice accordingly. So we're just going to play those two stories back to back so that we can get on the other side commenting, but it will be also the right time for us.
Before we play those clips, Patrick, the Transparency International Zambia's point of view also makes a lot of sense, because when you look at it, Patrick, the Drug Enforcement Commission, not all arrests that are made are sanctioned by the DPP.
You're right.
No. I think for her, she comes in at a later stage when evidence is gathered against someone, you arrest them, you take them to I don't know if it's police station or whatever, then there maybe that's when she can pick it up. Because obviously you cannot arrest someone without evidence. And it is not the mandate of the DPP to be saying, where is the evidence for this person, arrest him, to issue arrest warrants. I don't think so, is it?
No, I agree with you. This is because if it was the case, it would have been a very daunting task for the DPP to actually
look at all the people that are committing crimes. They say, arrest this person, arrest this person. No.
So I believe that it is the reason that law enforcement wings like the Zambia Police, the Drug Enforcement Commission, the Anti-Corruption Commission, they do their independent assessment in terms of whom to arrest based on the crimes. Then they undertake those measures because they have the necessary resources to undertake those arrests, to say this one has committed a crime and we have this evidence. So when they present it, the DPP there, the job starts at when she says, okay, we can proceed further to prosecute this matter in court.
In court, yes.
So she can sign to say, okay, we can go
Let's
ahead
hear this matter in court.
Let's hear this matter in court. But when it comes to arresting,
I don't
those
think
are the right because
of investigative
if it was the case, Sharon, you and I would have heard the stories to say the DPP has arrested. Or the
but
DPP
she never
has arrested. So, but that responsibility.
So somebody somewhere is stepping on their boundaries. This may not be the center of our discussion, but it concerns you and me. Those legal minds out there, send us those text messages and call us. Let's have this conversation and educate one another on this matter. Was the DPP in order to write to the Drug Enforcement Commission asking them why they re-arrested Milingolung? Isn't it the mandate of the Drug Enforcement Commission or the Anti-Corruption Commission or indeed other investigative wings to investigate, have preliminary investigations, arrest that person, and then put on the table of the DPP the evidence that they have?
If you check, Sharon, because based on what the decision that was undertaken by the DEC, it tells you that they have evidence.
Exactly.
They could not go ahead without evidence to present someone before the court. We are pretty sure they did their homework.
They did their homework. They have the work.
The risk of re-arresting someone and without intentions of
through the court process again, and then they enter into a knowledge. I think they have what they call sufficient evidence, according to Mary Chua. She said, we've gathered evidence, more evidence against this man, and therefore we are re-arresting him. And the whole process was conducted and it was made public. We are aware of it when he was re-arrested. I mean, we did the stories. We got information from various stakeholders who commented on the matter. So it's a very interesting item, and the DPP has come under fire, really. I feel for her. But then Nakachinda here...
There's a concern that you women are not...
exactly. Nakachinda also brought up the issue of, no, is it because she's a woman? I don't think so. Really, I'm a woman, but I'm not somebody who supports things simply because this person is a woman. I'm going to support everything. Not necessarily that I'm attacking the DPP or I'm judging her or I'm saying she's wrong or right. I don't know. That's the more reason why I'm saying the viewers out there, all those legal minds that understand these things, kindly call us and educate us on this matter, because we may be firing blank shots, you know. We may not necessarily understand what we are talking about, and therefore we're extending this invitation for this discussion to those that really understand. But then again, Patrick, coming to the issue of gender, I don't think I'm that person who just says because she's a woman I'm going to support her, you know, in decision-making positions.
Yes, because in fact you don't have to bring in that stereotyping.
It's stereotyping.
You don't have to
she
bring
is
up
a DPP. The constant gender aspects when such things arise.
It doesn't matter, because every day women are attacked.
Exactly.
Let's say a man like President Hakainde Hichilema is attacked every day. So do you have to call on the men's network to say, look at how your fellow man is being attacked.
You know, even exactly.
These positions, they attack each other.
They attack each other.
They expect the men's network to say,
you stop attacking your president.
What do you mean? For me, I think these women who are in these offices are women of character.
They are equal to the task.
They are equal to the task, and they have demonstrated what they can do.
Yeah.
The director of public prosecution, as the woman is herself, she's been there. She has worked.
Yeah.
The Madam Mary Chirwa, her record speaks for herself when she was at the Financial Intelligence Center. So these are women who are able to express themselves because they know the nitty-gritties of their job.
Why should we speak for them?
So even the decision they have made,
they know where they stand.
So we'll see how this unfolds, but the bone of contention that was being advanced by the UPND is that the UPND, the DPP is frustrating their fight against corruption because they want to prosecute people, and the DPP is standing on the way. That has been the major contention. And I think the 24 hours that was given by Anderson Banda, it will be expiring, I think, by 9 hours. I think that's when the press briefing was held. So we are going to see what course of action do they want to take.
What are they going to do? Are they going to march in the streets? You know, do they even have a permit? But anyways, let's zoom into these two stories. On the other side, we'll be joined by Mr. Nyerinda as we delve into the conversation that we promised you. Good morning.
The call to having the Director of Public Prosecutor Lilian Sioni resign from her position is getting louder as the United Party for National Development Youths in Lusaka have given Ms. Sioni 24 hours to step down from her position.
I'm sure many other voices have echoed the same sentiments that Amaya DPP Vaja, she's not serving our interest, and the only thing to do for her is to resign on moral grounds.
The Patriotic Front PF, on the other hand, says it is disappointed at the conduct of those who are demanding for the resignation of Ms. Sioni, who acted in accordance with the law, and those who are demanding for a resignation because she was appointed to a position under the PF, thereby she is a PF cadre. PF Chairperson for Information and Media, Raphael Nakachinda, says Ms. Sioni is one of the most qualified prosecutors in the country and deserves to be respected. Mr. Nakachinda has wondered why women movement groups in the country are quietly watching their fellow woman being insulted and disrespected.
If Mr. Shonga, for example's argument is that the DEC has the powers to go against the decision of the DPP, meaning that when the DPP enters a Nole, the law enforcement agencies have the power to rearrest. What kind of judicial system are we going to have? So the DPP will go to court and make a decision, and then the law enforcement agencies make another decision? Why do we go to court, and when we reach there they tell us we cannot proceed on this matter, we are still waiting for instructions from the office of the DPP?
Mr. Nakachinda says the country should run away from politicizing everything that does not favor those in government. He has since challenged the government to deny allegations that it has entered a consent agreement with Mr. Milingolungu, whose content is not yet known.
There are consent agreements that have been entered in the name of the state versus Mr. Milingo. And we want to know the content of this. Is it true? Now, people are trying to say, no, entering a Nole is such an out of this world situation. Have we forgotten, colleagues, that the Republican president we have today is sitting on a Nole himself? When the Nole was entered, I must tell you, I was in government myself. I was part of Patriotic Front already by the privilege of having been nominated as a member of parliament. There were sentiments within ourselves as Patriotic Front accusing this same lady that she's UPND.
We will continue to monitor how the matter will unfold. Prudence Chota, reporting for Camnet TV News.
This is a letter that the Director of Public Prosecutions wrote to the Drug Enforcement Commission over the rearresting of Milingolungu, the issue that has brought about public debate. Stakeholders have submitted their view on the matter, including the Law Association of Zambia, who recently wrote the DPP offside, noting that the DPP cannot stop investigations or the arrest of anyone, highlighting that the DPP's role is in prosecuting, adding to a popular demand of the DPP escaping herself in the eyes of the public. The National Democrats Congress, NDC, has charged the DPP Lilian Sioni to resign on moral ground. NDC Deputy Secretary General Joseph Kasonde says this in an exclusive interview with Camnet News.
The day there is unity in this country, and he wants to be user-friendly. But unfortunately, the colleagues want to abuse the process. So DPP's stance, I think we are not in support of that. On moral validation, she just has to resign. That will be the best she can do as of now. The money that Milingolungu is being accused of having accumulated is just too much for somebody to even say, no, why did you do this? In any case, she was supposed to have just gone secretly or confidentially. They speak about it. After all, when recommendations are being done by these investigative wings, there must be some collaboration in between. Now, you never know. For her to come out like that, it leaves much to be desired. We really don't know. We don't know. But we're not in support. A point. The UPND alliance government, it's not there just to say, no, this is wrong. We say, yes, this is right, yes. Here is a situation which actually is not falling well. Not all the Zambians are saying what the DPP is saying is correct. And if you notice very well, those that might be saying, no, yes, the DEC were wrong to rearrest, it is not the actual people that mean well. Most of them, the Law Association of Zambia has put the spade very correctly.
In the same vein, the Transparency International Zambia, TIZ, has cautioned DPP against abrogating the constitutional principle by acting outside the parameters of what the law provides for the operations of the DPP.
Our view is that rather than calling for the DEC to exculpate themselves concerning the rearrest of Mr. Lungu, it is in fact the DPP herself who needs to exculpate herself, certainly in the eyes of the citizens of Zambia, by explaining the rationale behind the nolle prosequi that she entered in the Milingo Lungu case. You will realize that the DPP being a public office, regardless of the security of tenure as well as the discretionary powers that are vested in it, it needs to be seen to be always acting in the interest of the public and for the greater good of justice.
Some stakeholders are of the view that the DPP's action make the fight against corruption in the country even more harder. Alex Shimba, Camnet News in Lusaka.
There you have it. An interesting story there with the public prosecution DPP, where we were talking about the issues that are trending concerning her cause, that she should resign from her position. This has been topical for a while, but just now we are going to take a short break. We'll be back on the other side with our first interview of the day. Stay tuned.
Camnet TV is becoming big and better. You can now watch Camnet TV wherever you are around the world, simply by downloading the Camnet TV app. With Camnet TV app, you only use less bundles. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
Thank you for staying with us. You are watching the Camnet Breakfast Thursday edition, Governance and Policy. And on this episode, we are featuring the Operation Young Vote Executive Director, Mr. guest Nyirenda, who is helping us and wind up the conversation we've been having on governance and policy segments Tuesday,
Wednesday and Thursday,
Sharon, regarding the Follow Your Vote campaign, which has been powered by OIV with support from its cooperating partners. Mr. Nyirenda, welcome to the program.
Well, thank you so much, Comrade Soko, for having me. It's always a pleasure to be before you guys.
Mr. Nyirenda, just to take us back and maybe remind the viewers what this Follow Your Vote campaign is about briefly, so and then we can pick it up from there.
Well, thank you so much again. The Follow Your Vote campaign is a campaign that is an innovation that Operation Young Vote hatched, after conducting massive voter awareness and sensitization prior to the 2021 general elections. Because then people came out in huge numbers. People voted, and I think the results were there to show what happened. But then we said to ourselves, okay, people voted. Should it be at the end? What should happen then? That's how we quickly hatched this Follow Your Vote campaign, so that as much as possible, people do not only participate in governance just at the election level or election period, but even beyond elections, because then we needed to check our leaders, we needed to sit down with our leaders and engage, we needed to plan the development together. We are trying to demystify this notion where when a leader is voted into office, they go and they go for good. The only time they think of coming back to the people or to the area which they are leaders is when they are campaigning again for another election. So for us, we felt that this is very important because it also, cultivates the notion of, people's, collaboration amongst themselves, being there, because we may have different challenges as individuals, as individual families in a community, but then we have collective challenges as a people, and it is those collective challenges that will be helped to resolve when we follow our vote by sitting down together with our elected representatives.
Now, Mr. Nyirenda, help us understand, since we want to refresh the memories of our viewers and those who are joining us for the first time. Where is the scope of this project? Which constituencies have you targeted so that can benefit, and how are you ensuring that as many communities benefit from this Follow Your Vote campaign?
Well, as things stand, we have received a lot of goodwill. There are a number of cooperating partners, a number of well-wishers that want to come on board, so that we extend this particular innovation not only or beyond the areas that we targeted when we initially started it. The initial areas were parts of Eastern Province. In Eastern Province, we had actually 9 districts. They include Lumezi, Lundazi, Vubwi, Chadiza, Chipata, Katete, Petauke, and the other 2, I can't remember them off cuff, but there are 9 districts in the east, and we have Livingstone in Southern Province, and we have Ndola on the Copper Belt, and we have Lusaka itself. So those are our catchment areas. Those have been our catchment areas in the initial, rollout. But because we are receiving goodwill, and our members across the country are also saying, look, we can do this at very minimal cost. Can we just see how we can be trained, how we can be capacitated, oriented, so that they go flat out and do this campaign? So there's that goodwill, and it must be spread across the country very soon.
You have the communique or the accountability tool that you are using to ensure that the leaders sign to it, community members propose on what they want. I want to find out, because we understand that this program is already been rolled out. So far, how has been the response in terms of leaders at community levels subscribing to this demand accountability tool, that which you are making sure that there is that consensus between the community members as well as those in office?
Well, I want to report to the nation and the world at large through this platform that the response by the local leaders has been so overwhelming. You know, we, for example, let me give an example of Vubwi. When we went to Vubwi to do this program, Vubwi is a constituency, it's a district and constituency at the same time, and it has 10 wards. Of the 10 wards, we had 7, that is 70% of the councillors there, the local councillors, attended this particular meeting. And they were so excited and happy that this meeting, this program has come to them, and they want to spread it across their wards so that people can, you know, continue this engagement with them on matters that, you know, affect society. So the response has been so overwhelming. We had a number of them here in Lusaka. The recent one we had was about 2 weeks ago, and we had councillors from different corners of Lusaka, I mean, from different constituencies. And for us, this is quite overwhelming. And you'll agree with me that is it a fortnight ago or a few days ago or so, we had a councillor feature on this program, Salubusa, you know, from is it Kakwepe ward in Material constituency. So that shows you that this particular program, this innovation has been accepted by everyone, and it is one such innovation that is going to help us resolve our challenges as a people in a more cordial manner than pointing fingers at each other, than fighting, and so on and so forth. So this has been embraced, and we are happy that it has it is so, and we expect that even more other, you know, elected leaders, which include the members of parliament, would also buy into this. We have 1 or 2 that have come on board and are excited about it, and they want to push it, you know, beyond this. I think this is what we need as a people.
How long is the program?
Well, the program is, it must be continuous. It must be ongoing. Like I said, with regards to funding from the UNDP basket fund, the program is supposed to have ended by now in terms of reports and or other things that are necessary. But I think as Operation Young Vote, we have said to ourselves, look, we can't end this program. And this is why, again, we have so many other, you know, partners that want to come on board and see how they could best partner with us to ensure that this program continues. It must be ongoing because governance does not go on break. Okay, so participation should not go on break. As our leaders are expending our monies, as our leaders are doing whatever they are doing, as CDF is being rolled out to the constituencies, we need people to have the information. We need people to engage and participate. And one surest way of engaging and participating is this particular Follow Your Vote program, because it brings people from all walks of life. It brings people, members of the community, together. And this is one surest way that we can count on as Zambians and engage, especially like you mentioned, with the use of the our communique, the local community demand accountability and advocacy tool. With the use of that particular tool, I think the sky will not even limit us. I almost said the sky will be the limit, but I think even the sky will not limit us, because this is so good an innovation, and if we all bought into it, would be talking of a different Zambia, where everyone participates and there's no discrimination, there's no one being left out or behind, but all of us engage and our views are listened to and heard.
We also want to get your perspective regarding how you are galvanizing stakeholder collaboration in terms of civil society organizations to help you roll out this program across of those districts that are implementing the project. How are you working with other civil society organizations?
Excellent. That's a very brilliant question, Comrade Soko. You see, we can't manage this program if we did it in isolation. We need everyone. We need the media. We need the youth. We need the persons with disabilities. We need the women. We need the men. We need everyone on board, and we need civil society as well. Civil society are a critical component of our governance, realm as a people, and we have civil society placed on different capacities in different areas, and because of that, and the following of what is not limited to any particular thing. Okay, it is all embracing, and because it is all embracing in terms of sectors, people must follow their vote in the water sector. People must follow their vote in the environmental sector. People must follow their vote in the infrastructure sector. Whichever sector, governance, whatever it is, people must be able to follow their vote. And this is why, for us, from the onset, we said we are going to work closely with civil society organizations. We have been having engagements and meetings with civil society organizations across the spectrum. The young women, for example, Young Women in Action, FODEP, Decentralization Alliance Network, Common Cause Zambia, and many other, Disabilities Rights Watch, many other stakeholders. We feel that this is very important if we are going to bring as much as the civil society spectrum on board. And that's how we are engaging behind the curtains, but also in front of the curtains. We are engaging. Our friends are coming on platforms and talk about what they do, but in line with the follow your vote engagement.
Also want to understand when you are going to also review the project, to understand, to say, okay, we started this project, this is the progress we have made so far. In terms of the community, let's say Matero, which has also shown commitment to implement this project, because one of the councillors we hosted on this platform, Patrick Salbusa, was categorical to say they are on with the project. People need to have already submitted what they want to see, some of the developments under CDF. Now, at what point do you review the project to say, okay, this is what people agreed in Matero. This far, this is how much they have achieved.
Great. What is happening is that from the onset, we did put in an M&E agenda, embedded it in the project or the program, so much such that at every quarter we'll be able to sit down and say what is happening on this score from the local community demand accountability and advocacy tools that we have made. We'll be sitting down and begin to review and see what is going on with regards to the demands or the priorities that people put for themselves. But beyond just looking at the priorities that people set themselves to do or to achieve, we'll also be looking at the new ones. Are there new things that emerging issues that people need to engage in and look at? Then we'll be able to revise those particular communiques, and it is an ongoing process, but every quarter we'll be sitting down to ensure that we review that particular thing that we agreed in the initial stages. Then just like that, we continue to upgrade it, to update it as a need arises.
The political fraternity, sometimes when you are undertaking accountability projects like the Follow Your Vote campaign, mistake it for probably you being sponsored by other government critics to ensure that as you hold them accountable, they feel no, they're just being sponsored. Is that is that among the elements of the project?
Well, it is. You are quite right that our political dispensation in this country is such that when you say something that is, like stepping on her toys, then she will think you have sponsored me. And when it is the other way, it is like that. And this is a danger to our society. And maybe you allow me to give a small example.
Exactly.
When the MMD were in power, I was appointed to be one of the people in the National Youth Development Council, as it were, at the board.
You were a youth?
Yes, I was a youth. but then the minister then, and I will not mention their name, they told me, I have your letter here appointed, but I will not sign your letter because you seem to be PF. Whatever PF says, that's what you say. Whatever you say, that's what PF says. And I told the minister, keep your letter. I don't need it. I don't need an appointment. If you are appointing me, you're appointing me to go and help. Okay? But if you think you are appointing me to appease me, forget it. Keep it. So that's how the minister was shocked. That time we had deputy ministers. But then the deputy minister said, no, I think this young man, we are just accusing him. He's just... and that's how the minister, you know, and then the appointment, yes, was given. But beyond that, when we were being inducted, when we were being inaugurated, he comes to the meeting and with all the ZNBC cameras and he's saying, no, don't be like this young man. This young man is stubborn. That's an induction for sure. It can't be. I said, no. I almost, rose, but somebody advised me, no, just leave it. And I left it.
Sula kola pepa.
Yes. So you see, the PF, I mean, the MMD left. We had PF come on board. When we spoke to the PF, and by the way, the MMD did invite me to go to their rebranding. When they lost power, when Novas Mumba just took power, and they invited me in Chilanga where they were doing it from. And imagine, now they invited me as a consultant and they paid me for that. When I was talking freely like this on the media, they thought I was and I went and told them the same exact things I was saying on the media for free to them. I went and told them in that, rebranding of theirs, and they paid me for telling them what I was telling them before. This is one thing that we need to change as a people, if we are to move forward. When I'm talking like this, people right now, people are angry and people are hungry. Whether the UPND today buries their heads in the sand, people are hungry. So if I say that people are hungry, don't think that I'm against you. No, I'm not. I'm just telling you the facts on the ground. And this is what is happening, of course, with this campaign. People will say, no, I remember I was on Millennium Radio. Somebody called, no, it's like you are against the government. You are against the UPND. The same person called me when I was on the Pan-African Radio and said, no, it's like you are supporting UPND. And I said, look, we can't move like this as a people. An issue is an issue. Let us look at an issue the way it is and not begin to bring in issues that you are sponsored, whether someone is sponsored, for example, or not. But if the issue is the way it is, get it and resolve it the way it is. So don't look at where somebody is coming from. Look at the issue itself. So for us, yes, we have faced this, and I mean, we have grown with it, comrade. I mean, we have our skin is now thick.
So, Mr. Nyeringa, accountability is obviously the best of all this Follow Your Vote campaign. Are we seeing accountability enhanced through these? Because members of the public, really, do they even know how they're supposed to hold these leaders accountable? Because I think that is one of the major problems that we have.
They think leaders are doing them a favor.
Yes.
Like we've seen in the past, Sharon, where people say, well, PF vanasevenza, or UPND vanasevenza. But the question again you have to ask ourselves is that, are they using their money
or your money? Do we know the procedure of holding these leaders accountable? What is the best way of approaching this?
Excellent. First of all, let me answer the question. Is this program or project enhancing accountability?
Yes.
And my answer without looking over my shoulders is yes. A big yes, for that matter. And why? Because, you know, when you begin to push for accountability in silos, this one is doing it there, this one there, it is, you know, isolated. People don't take it seriously. You know, leaders will not think you are serious. But when you get together, okay, when your voice is galvanized, when your voice is mobilized and made into one very big voice, it means that then the leaders will begin to listen. Look, today the leaders are talking of 2.8 and 1.8. Okay? Those are voices, those are expressions. Okay? These are the people that voted for and against, or for and for the other one. So those people were basically expressing themselves, and they express themselves in those numbers. So there is value and there is, you know, power in numbers. So when people get together, and this is the essence of this particular follow your vote, that accountability is going to be enhanced by people getting together and have this one solid big voice. And this is why even when we do those communiques, it is not done by one person. It is not done by Operation Young Vote. It is done by the people themselves on the ground. And because of that, we think that this is one best way. There could be many, but this is one best way of addressing this issue of demanding for accountability from the duty bearers by the rights holders. And it can be done if only we depoliticize it. If people don't look at it as, no, I'm coming from PF, I'm coming from DP, I'm coming from UPND. We look at it that it's Zambia, and we want, for example, this particular CDF to work for us as a constituents. And if you look at things that way, then you'll be smiling all the way.
He actually mentioned to say members of the public praise administration. Do they really understand that that is their money?
Well, I think we have, you know, we have been made to believe or to think that leaders do this from their goodwill. Okay? Now, it's not about goodwill of leaders. It's about the duty and responsibility that they have. And what they use, the resources they use, are not their personal resources. Those are monies that are your monies as Zambians. They are your monies. They are mine, his, and everyone who is a Zambian, a taxpayer. Those resources and monies belong to them. And this is why we say, even as we expend our resources, even as we exploit our resources, we must think of the next generation. We must think of the unborn, because they also have a stake in what this country has, what God has endowed this country with. And indeed, you have asked a very good question, and I must admit, the challenge that we have is that people think that when a road is done, then it's a favor. It's not a favor. Okay, and I want to speak in the eyes of our leaders. You are not doing us a favor. If you think you are doing us a favor, you are in the wrong position. You don't deserve to be there. It's not a favor. It is your duty as a leader to ensure that what you are supposed to do is done. And by the way, you are not using your personal money. You are using our money. Money that belongs to the people of Zambia. And for you to come and put the towers for us to have very good network, then you think you have done us a favor. Say, no, it's not. You are duty bound to do that. And we have the right as rights holders. That's why I think going forward, I don't know how we can do it, but we need some, not necessarily vetting, but for lack of a better term, maybe I may use that one. We need people who are going to vet themselves and say, I am capable of being a public leader. Yeah. And like you just go there because that's where it's lucrative.
Yes.
That's where you are going to make money. And now you want to harangu everyone. You want to think that, you know, everyone should bow to you. It's not that. You are just given a privilege to be in that office to administer the resources that this country is endowed with. And after all, you are not the most intelligent or the most educated. No, there are others who are very educated than you. But you have just been given that privilege. Don't abuse that privilege. Because people think, it's me, it's me. They tend to get out or you know, not give a chance to those that are educated. Because for me, a good leader, you will lead, and leading is not about you doing. It's about you showing the direction we are going to. Bring bring those who know, bring those that have experience, bring those that have expertise. Put them together. Oh, gentlemen, ladies, we want to resolve this issue. What do we do? Then the people must be able to say, oh, this debate, and at the end of the day come up with something, consolidated, and then move as a country. We know that some countries are doing it. You can't do everything. You cannot be a jack of all trades. You can't. You cannot. This goes to our leaders at community level, in the church. Look, you can't be, I know everything. Allow people to share also there. You realize that there are people who even know better than you. Okay, in the communities, the councillors, the ward councillors, the members of parliament. Leadership is not about me. It's about the others. Me, I'm just a figurehead. When I come here and speak about these things, you think it's Ges Nyirenda who is doing it. No, there are people down there, the young people who are so innovative. And they just give information to Ges Nyirenda. And when Ges Nyirenda comes here, you think, oh, he's powerful. No, the powerful are the ones behind the curtains.
Indeed, Mr. Nyirenda, well spoken, because we've seen quite a number of leaders.
Yes.
Sometimes they even get upset when they lose elections. You don't appreciate.
What should
I
you
brought you, I brought you balls here. You know, I charged this road. You don't appreciate you voted for someone else. I mean, we've heard these sentiments time and again. So it starts from even them. They themselves, they don't understand their mandate as leaders. They don't understand their role. They feel they're doing people a favor. But the sooner we realize that public resources are for everybody, then we'll stop even praising these people. Say, no, this administration is very good. They did this. Okay, yes, they facilitated.
Absolutely.
But is it their hard-earned money or the country's hard-earned money?
Absolutely.
That is one thing we need to understand. You are watching the Operation Young Vote sponsored segment, and we are talking to Mr. Ges Nyirenda under the Follow Your Vote campaign. We've been having these conversations for the past 5 weeks at least, and this is the 60th episode that we are having. Hopefully they will be able to come through the other weeks, and we continue this important conversation. So we are asking you to call in as well as send those text messages and ask those pertinent questions. And if at all you understand your role as a public citizen with regards to holding leaders accountable, it is indeed your vote, it is your money, and you are responsible for tracking those developmental aspirations in your various localities.
Yeah, interesting. Sure, we have to ensure that we track those votes because there are a lot of commitments that were made, and that can only be guaranteed, especially when we hold leaders accountable.
When we talk, because when we are quiet, they're comfortable. They think they're doing us a favor. That's a takeaway from this show, Patrick. Leaders shouldn't think they're doing you a favor.
But there's hope under President Hakainde Hichilema. That's if he sticks to what he has been saying. He's been preaching to be a servant leader.
Yes.
And that's what everyone else has to understand, that you are servants of the people. You are not there to bulldoze the people.
I want to be that servant who gets more money than the one who... guys. That servant leadership method is good. No, it's good.
More money than the...
Yes. The boss.
The boss.
No, niggas. I want to be the servant.
Just talking about servant leadership, it's actually a good thing that you brought it today. Because
someone wants to join the conversation before you proceed, Mr. Nyirenda.
Okay, please.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. Thank you. even in poor even calling you from Soweto.
Please go ahead.
You can go ahead with your contributions.
Okay, thank you. I just want to give a comment also on what our brother has explained. I think on the issue of appreciating the government leaders we vote for, for example, if they do something like if they are working. I think it is very important. Yes, we know it's our public resources. That is, I'll give an example. Last year it went down. From the time we got our independence in 1960, so we found that all these governments, they have failed. The same public resources, they are not rotting straight down. But here comes maybe, for example, the previous regime, the PF government. When the former president Berum came here, he promised to say, I'll do this, I'll do this. And for sure, we saw some good things went down. Now, we started comparing. If these others themselves, they ain't serious and then they have done this. So we appreciate them for giving us good jobs to slow down. But we know it's our resources. So I feel when they are in opposition, they promise well, but when they win, things become bad. For example, the current government, here we are very much disappointed because we were in conference dancing, but in 7 months they have destroyed our economy. Sarana is calling up Chinese, Sarana is tell you, Sarana is into that. Discrimination, the transport, national. Currently, in Amatavana, should down. Because they wanted important, so people are saying that Matamura is some charity. So I'm going to tell So I don't know if the Brother Direnda you are working to advise these people to take down. Get them to put up their socks so that it's like, can you imagine? It's about 10 years ago. They struck just and they break down here in the Bunga. Just because man the Bunga. So let me talk too much, but otherwise this government has disappointed and the party arranged the Rabu now getting that. Thank you very much.
So what you are doing, Mr. Rikua, is just following your vote. You just have to continue with that same trajectory and remind them.
Absolutely.
Mr. Jirenda, you can add
maybe
just
correct the narrative of thanking leaders.
Yeah, I think what we are saying is we are not saying that let's not appreciate each other. I mean, we'll appreciate each other.
Yes.
Look, I'll give an example of myself. I'm here on this program. I'm not using my resources. Okay, I'm using public resources. That is from the sponsorship of the United Nations Development Program. And if people feel, oh, he's doing a good job, you thank me for that. Not that, look, I must be thanked because I have brought this. No, we shouldn't go there.
Yeah.
Because these leaders are duty bound. Why do we elect them? For heaven's sake. We elect them to come or to go and do a particular assignment. And if they do that assignment, we say thank you. Those that fail, we censure them. We find ways of even throwing them away and bring others who we think may do a better job. So leaders are duty bound. Look, we have resources as a country, and they are expending that budget or the resources that we have as a country on the premises. On the boundaries that we have agreed. It's unfortunate that areas for certain areas to develop, they need a new leader to come on board. I think we should get away from that notion. Remember, our governance is such that we have representative at the lowest level, at a ward level. Okay, so our ward councillors, working with the members of parliament, must engage with government and bring development to our area. They are duty bound to do that. It's not that we need to cry for them or we need to wait for a leader who comes from our region. That's when our region will be developed. No, we must get away from that notion. Zambia must be developed at the same time, and this is why for us we have appreciated this increment in the CDF and increased level at par. Same whatever is being received in Vubwi is what is going to be received in Matero. I know people will have but Matero has many people and Vubwi has very few people, but Vubwi is vast. It also needs development. So I think for the start, the 25.7 is okay for everyone. Then as we move forward, we will see how the monies or resources could be shared equitably depending on the demographics in that particular area. But I was talking to one very important thing, comrades, before you cut me. You brought in the issue of servant leadership.
Yes.
And I was appreciating that, it has come at a very opportune time, very exact day. This is the day, for me who is Catholic, this is the day that our Lord Jesus, told his disciples that, look, you must be servants. This is the day when he washed the feet of his disciples. Okay, and he said, if you read John chapter 13, verse 14 to 15, I'm not a preacher man, but I know some of these things.
I know, I'm just following.
So if you read that particular, it will tell you how Jesus did it. He was master and teacher. He is Lord. But he says, for you to have a better society, as a leader, you must go down and uplift your people. So our leaders today, we are challenging them. I'm challenging them myself. Go down. Let your people be uplifted by washing their feet. What do we mean by washing their feet? Do what is right. Okay? Ensure that the basics are there. Somebody has just called and said people were looting a truck that I mean, people can't afford. It's sad. It's unfortunate that this is happening at the time the UPND has come into office. Okay, but maybe we need to ask ourselves questions as Zambians also. Had PF won, were things going to be better? That's a question we need to ask ourselves, because we are made to believe and understand that the economy that the UPND found was a wrecked economy, was an economy that was nowhere, and they are trying to fix this economy. And in the period of fixing this economy, there's still hunger, there's still destitution, there's still unemployment. There are all these problems that are there. So how would this situation would have been if PF had won? Because they were also borrowing to cushion certain things. Would that borrowing was it going to have been necessary to continue, and at some point were we going to be a country, a bankrupt country? Or so all those things come into play. But I think the most important thing is that the leaders in power today, the leaders in office today, must know that as they are fixing things, people are hungry. And people want the promises that they made. People will not wait that, no, it's only 7 months. No. You cannot postpone hunger. Okay, you are hungry and you say, okay, hunger, can you come after 2 days? You can't postpone hunger, unfortunately.
More people will die.
Okay? So then, our leaders, even as they are doing whatever they are doing in terms of fixing what was broken, they must know that there's hunger and people cannot postpone the hunger.
Mr. Narendra, let's weigh in the issue of the current by-election in Western Province. And we request for a clip.
There's a by-election going on, in fact, in 3 locations. So just play that clip to just indicate that we were, actually the voting is on. And just to indicate, and Mr. Nyenda can comment to that, because these are matters pertaining to elections bringing out leaders.
And follow your vote.
Absolutely.
After that, people will need to follow their vote. Let's look at that clip, Mr. Fred, and thereafter we can comment on it.
Do hereby declare our polling station officially open.
The time is 06 hours. I, Linanga Lydia, being presiding officer for Zen Hope Polling Station 1, do here.
Okay, so that was just a short clip showing us that the polling station opened at 06 hours and people are currently underway. The voting really is underway. People are on the queue and trying to vote.
The council chairperson there.
Yes, indeed.
This election was necessitated following the demise of
Nyambe
Matakala, yeah, who died on the 24th of February. So, but now people are trying to replace him. But the importance of that, Sharon, is that what we are reflecting on is as a result of the August 12, 2021 general election, when people chose their leaders. But today, the people of that locality are also
casting their votes.
But the key factor there is
follow your vote. Follow your vote. And we are wondering if at all residents of Mongu or Mukushi Central Province, their by-election, really will follow this vote and ensure that the newly elected mayor will be exactly.
So, Mr. Nyinenda, just your take as people cast their vote. We understand that election is also a matter that you deal with year in, year out, especially when it comes to the issue of governance. So how important is that those people who are voting understand what they are voting for, as well as ensure that they track their various campaign pledges?
Well, I think the first thing should be people realizing the importance of them casting their vote. Casting one's vote is also an action of following your vote. Because then we had this particular leader that you elected on the 12th of August in 2021 die, then you need to replace. So even just that action of getting interested to replace this particular person is following your vote in itself. Because if you don't get up and cast that vote, it means that you are allowing a wrong person to be in leadership. And this is one thing that we need to really take seriously as Zambians, because we take it so so casually. It's laissez-faire arrangement where you think, me, I will not vote, it's okay, I don't even benefit.
Yes.
No, you must stand up and
the
ensure
servant gets more money than me, the boss.
Yes. You must make sure that whichever servant you put in office delivers for you, so that you have the services that you require. You have the roads built, you have medicines in hospitals, you also have infrastructure in terms of buildings themselves, schools, and employment and all those things. So it begins from there. So the people of Mongu and the other areas in the country that have by-elections, they must stand up. We still have time. They must stand up and go put their NRC and their voters card together and go and cast their vote. It is very important. It is actually, it is, I don't want to say it is a matter of life and death. But I want to
like many said in 2021.
Yeah, but I want to put it in such a way that your life is dependent on that particular vote. Because if a wrong person is voted into office, you will get to suffer with that person until they leave office, for heaven's sake. And if a good person, a leader that is a servant leader, is voted into office, you will have the benefits for that particular time. So it's a matter of your life. Whether you like it or not, it will be affected in a way or the other. So it's important that people just say to themselves, I'm going to vote. And they do cast their vote. But beyond that, they must also continue checking on these members of parliament. I know that there are people who could have lost their voters cards, their NRCs, and they can't vote. But encourage those that have these voting tools. Encourage them. It's your duty. You, by encouraging those that have these voting tools to go and vote, it means that you are participating also. It's important that that is done, because leaders must also stop to think that they go there like it's their effort alone that they go there, and then later on they will not mind about the people that they lead. They must realize that it is by the people that they go there, it is for the people that they go there, and they must ensure that all they do in their tenure of office is to attend to the issues that the people want to be attended to. They must save the people. In other words, they cannot save themselves. They will be the last persons to be saved. Probably they will not even be saved here. They will be saved somewhere in heaven or wherever they will go afterwards. But I think for now, their duty is to save the people. And that is what we expect from all leadership across the board.
Servant leadership, indeed, an option, Holy Thursday. Exactly. Talking about it, Mr. Nerida feels like a priest. You're not a priest. Just a reminder, you're not a priest.
I'll become one soon.
Please do. Yes, I want to be a nun too.
Yeah. Mr. Nerida, as we come to a close of our discussion this morning, we just want to get your perspective regarding the youth aspect. We've seen that you've been following the issues of the Youth Empowerment Fund in the past administrations. And most of them have failed in terms of loan recovery. So how can we ensure that under CDF, we know that there's a loan scheme under CDF where our citizens can benefit from? How do you think we need to manage this facility to ensure that there's no default when it comes to paying back, so that this revolving fund can continue to benefit various citizens?
As you wind up.
Okay. I think the challenge that we've had in the past is that monies were, disbursed on the doctrine of patronage. Monies were disbursed on the doctrine of political affiliation, and the praise singers and so on and so forth. Those who are seemingly or who seemed to be objective and stood on principle would not get that money. And I want to tell you that, look, this country has a lot of these young people that are doing a lot of good work around. If you just walk into Kalingalinga here, you will find that the whole entire road is full of those young people that are welding, okay, making very, very good, stuff. But because probably this young person is so independent, you go to your young person who doesn't even have a skill, who doesn't know anything, and you give them money, and you expect them to multiply that money and pay back. It's impossible. And the starting point is that let us, which the current government is doing, bringing young people together with different skills, okay? Young people that are good in this, young people that are good in, and they form cooperatives, okay? And these cooperatives, first of all, you must ensure that they are capacitated, they are trained, they are oriented. As you orient them, they must know the do's and the don'ts of this money. This money is not for you to just get now and go and buy a vehicle and start shining around your community. No, it's about you investing and multiply it. After multiplying it, then you will begin now to pay back what you need to pay back, and you begin to reinvest the profits so that at some point you'll be independent. Because when you get this money today alone, you are not independent. You are owing government, you are owing the people of Zambia, and you must pay back, okay? But the challenge has been that you give people on the doctrine of patronage. They are our supporters, our cadres, and the cadres were openly saying that if we we will not pay because this is our payment, okay? And they had the audacity to say that because they knew that the leaders were enjoying apakuru. That's what was happening, unfortunately. And that for us to completely go out, for that to to be done away with, we need to be, methodical. We need to be, there must be some merit attached. You need to check that, yes, these are able to do this. And it is not a sin or a crime not to give those who you think are going to abuse money. Okay? The people who are going to abuse money, they should not be given this money. Because this money must be revolving. It must come from one person or one group to the other group at some point. And you are not obliged to give people money because they supported us. No, they must show cause for them to get that money. They are going to ensure that they invest that money, multiply it, so that at the end of the day, they will have their own livelihoods improving and contributing to the GDP of the country, and Zambia will be moving forward as it were. But if people are showing no capacity, they are untrainable, I think those can be just employed and not given money. Just find some kind of employment within those that are given money, to employ them so that they just have a livelihood and not them handling the monies. It is important that this money, we don't want to hear our ministers, our president lament at some point that no, the recovery rate is so slow, and we don't want that kind of lamentation. But beyond that also, we expect that these young people are going to be given businesses, okay? Because it's pointless that you give a group of young people this cooperative monies to invest, and they do invest, and then they are competing with the very ministers and the upper members, the big people. They are competing with them in supplying, stationery at a ministry. And this is what has been happening in the past for a long time. And this is why these SMEs were crippled. They easily died. They just start today, tomorrow they die, because they don't have business. You can give them money, but if there is no business, what are they going to do? So government, again, there must be a policy, whether it's 10%, 20%, 30% of all these, absorption that the ministries and government institutions are getting, must be gotten from the young people. And you will see that the economy will run, and the wheels of justice and equity will be on the move.
Under a minute, follow your vote campaign as you conclude. Face the camera and tell the people.
Well, as we follow our vote, it is very pertinent and very important that as citizens we do not fear anyone. That we must be strong, because people will accuse us of this and that. Please be strong. It is your vote you are following. You are a Zambian who is entitled, who has rights to all these services that need to be provided by those who are duty bearers. You are not committing a crime by asking your leader a certain thing, or what has been done or what has not been done. You are within your right. And our leaders, please take this servant leadership seriously. You are servants, you are not bosses. Otherwise, if you think you are bosses, you are in the wrong place. You better leave that place, because one day you'll be made to account. And when the time of reckoning comes, you think that we are your enemies.
Shots fired there.
Let's hope that Mr. Nyirenda will come back with and sponsor another segment there, so that we can continue following the vote.
Yes, continue following servant leadership.
Exactly. Just now we're going to take a short break. We'll be back on the other side. Stay tuned.
Camnet TV is becoming big and better. You can now watch Camnet TV wherever you are around the world, simply by downloading the Camnet TV app. With Camnet TV app, you only use less bundles. Camnet TV, not just another channel.
And bananas. Work and wait, and this what you've been praying for.
Welcome back. You're still watching Camnet Breakfast. However, we are in the dying minutes. We've had a conversation with guest Nyarinda of Operation Young Vote under the Follow Your Vote campaign. Like I mentioned before, he stepped out of the set that we are tracking the developmental aspirations of government through the Follow Your Vote campaign. And indeed, he mentioned to say community members should take responsibility of these aspirations. Patrick?
And this is the time we always have to say bye-bye to the screens. Until next time when we come with another episode of the Camnet Breakfast on Governance and Policy on Tuesday and Thursday. But be sure to join Prudence and Miriam Kaimba tomorrow for breakfast.
Business for breakfast.
Exactly. Until next time, this has been Patrick Soko and Sharon Kalimbula. Stay tuned to Camnet TV. Remember, Camnet TV is
not just another channel.
You're
not saying it right, man. You're not saying it, but you're cruising.
Another what?
You're cruising. Camnet TV, not just another channel. It has to be there, you know. But anyways, thank you so much for watching. Good morning.